forensics, piecing together a story here. Big old pawpaw grove here. Still got some fruits on up there. Last time I was here, there's some big ones hanging on this branch right here. I was hoping to come back and find them, shake this tree today. Last time I was here, I shook this tree. And as you can see, we're on a very steep slope down to the river. Pawpaws fell, hit me in the head, bounced off into the river, and I had to go wading out there to get them. Well, this time, the pawpaws I was coming for are gone. The ground is wet right here, and over here, it hasn't rained, and the water is muddy down there like it's been stirred up. So I think someone has come and shaken the pawpaw trees, got hit in the head, they rolled in the river, and they went walking just like I did. CSI pawpaw. Asamina triloba. The pawpaw. There's a little guy. Fun thing about him is, most of the time when you find a little guy, you find lots of little guys. And when you find lots of little guys, you look up and you look around, you probably find some bigger guys. And you just keep looking until you find a really big guy. That's a pretty big one right there. Now, the thing about pawpaws is, sorry for my speech, I got a little, I got a, one of those spicebush twigs in my mouth. And I don't want to take it out yet, but I just found this. It looks like there's no fruit on this, and that's what I was about to say is pawpaws do not self-fertilize. They are self-infertile. Kind of like blueberries, you gotta have a, this one has been knocked down by a flood at some point. But they have to have a genetically distinct individual nearby in order to pollinate and produce fruit. This one looks like it might be all alone. And you might say, well, Seth, you just said there's a bunch of little guys around. Yeah, well, the thing is they're also a clonal species, so it's kind of like aspens. When you see a whole bunch of them growing nearby, they're actually connected underground. This is all one living organism, one genetic individual. And do not see any fruits on this one. Not sad, I already found some further up. I will give it a shake just to see if anything comes down. Something did. That was a branch. Dead branch of the tree it's leaning on. So unfortunately, no pawpaws off that one. Cool find though. This would be a great place to come back and plant a seedling that is from a genetically distinct plant. Then it can grow up here and help to pollinate this guy. So that'll be a plan for later in the winter. All right, so I just talking about giving this guy right here, this big guy, a genetically distinct individual to pollinate with. Talked about planting a seedling, but I just harvested some pawpaws from a tree further down the stream. So I'm just gonna eat this pawpaw here and put some of the seeds right there. And hope they don't get washed away over winter. They need stratification, cold stratification. They basically need to go through, experience cold for some time. That will then, when it starts to warm up after a period of cold, that's when it breaks their dormancy and they'll start to grow. And so then hopefully in a few years there will be two genetically distinct individuals growing right here, and they will pollinate each other, and then bing bang boom, kind of carries on from there by itself. So yeah, here's some half-eaten food. I'm sure you guys wanted to see that, but I figured some of you may not have seen the inside of a pawpaw. It's kind of this yellowish goopiness. It tastes and has a texture of almost like a custard. Very, very delicious. This one is a particularly good one from a grove right up there. Got some in my beard. I'm sure that looks great. But yeah, it's fantastic. Eating it, spitting the seeds out on the ground right there. There's 4 on the ground right there so far. I will dig them up and plant them all around here, just about an inch or 2 deep. in the sand. They like that. They need the overwinter. After that, that cold stratification to trigger the germination in the spring. They like to be by a creek. They like sort of partial shade. So this is the perfect environment, as evidenced by this massive one growing right behind me. So I'll spare you from watching me eat the rest of this thing because it tastes a lot better than it looks. Probably not a good video experience. Excellent culinary experience. All right, so here are my seeds. 5 seeds in that little pawpaw. I think right here on this sort of raised berm, next to this tree stump, maybe that'll sort of stabilize this area and that won't wash away in a flood. Also got the root system of the other pawpaw over there, and I think maybe over there just a little bit further away from it, but also in this sort of stream side glade type area that they seem to like, even though this is all being overtaken by stilt grass. I think this is where we want to do it, so I need some kind of tool. What do we have here? Tools grow on trees. Let me switch hands so I can do this with my better hand. This is actually some remarkably hard sandy dirt. Thought it was gonna be a little easier than that. Anyway, inch or so down there. Put one there. Cover it back up. And well, I kind of like to stay wet, but I don't know how I can really pull that off at the moment. Don't have a bucket or anything. Oop, dropped one down here. You know what? You want to go there? That's where you'll go. The seed has chosen. There you go. Good luck on your new life. Sand down there is actually got an insane warning on my phone about a crazed lunatic in the area. Came from, I don't know. Anyway, that interrupted my stuff. So I actually am going to put another one down here in this low-lying area because it's kind of damp down here and they do not like drying out. So maybe that's for the best. That little pawpaw seed that chose the lower lying area by jumping out of my hand, maybe it was onto something, knew what it was doing. I'll kick some dirt, leaves and stuff back over it. Yeah, maybe that is the way. Put them in the low-lying areas. Come over here and do the same. There's sort of a natural swale type thing going on here. This is very boggy, very soft footprints here. I'll put this one down in here. That looks like a good spot. Seed goes in, push it down. Everything's gravy. Maybe this is sort of what they naturally do. This kind of berm of, see, this is all like sand and plant matter. So it's just sort of like a natural little berm there. Drop that guy in. All right. Well, ate a delicious fruit and did something nice by planting more of it in a place that needed the genetic diversity to create more fruit. So, back in my stuff, more pawpaws in the bag, going home to eat those. Plant those seeds in pots. Okay, so back home now. Got the other pawpaws that I collected on that little trip. And all from the same grove. It's a very nice grove. I won't tell anybody where it is because everyone else will get them before I will, and they'll probably do crazy stuff like pull them before they're ripe. Anyway, got these today. I will eat them. I will enjoy them. I will save the seeds, and I will show you in a second what I'm doing with them. Also picked this a couple days ago. This is winged sumac with the berries. The berries are very tart on the outside. You can make, various spice blends from it. You can soak them in water and make a lemonade type thing. On that outing, I also picked up a bunch of spice berries. This is northern spicebush, Lindera benzoin, and the seeds have very large, or the berries have a very large seed in the middle, and on the outside there's sort of a thin, fleshy thing that is quite aromatic, I guess is the word, spicy. And so if you pop the seed out and you strip that outside fleshy coating off of it, and then you dry it out, you end up with this. This is sort of the dried out berry portion of the spice berries. Now you can leave the seed in, dry them out, they turn black as well, and you can grind them all up. The seed is edible as well. I've heard people say that you can like just eat these on the trail, kind of like they are, just like red straight off of the bush. It's not super pleasant for me. It's very, very aromatic. It's like eating a fruity clove or something. It's like eating a juicy clove. It is something. It's an experience. I encourage you to try it. If you can positively identify spice bush and you've never tried eating the berries, give it a shot. It's not going to hurt you. It is a weird experience. But you can dry them out into a spice, and I'm going to plan on grinding these up. But before I do that and grind those into sort of a spice powder, I am going to de-seed all of these, but tomorrow I'll be working on an apparatus that will help me do it. Last time I did it by hand, and that was weeks ago, and my thumbnail and the surrounding nail bed are still dyed kind of a weird, gross looking grayish black. That was my whole thumb for a long time, and that's mostly faded away now, but the nail is still dyed in the area around it where it's hard to wash in there. A little bit on that side too, but not as bad. That dyed the hell out of my hands. Anyway, so tomorrow I plan on trying to create a system to pop the seeds out. Like I said, you can leave the seeds in, dry them and grind them, but I plan on growing all of these seeds next year. And that takes us to, oh, hey dogs, go. That takes us to what we do with the pawpaw seeds. So, this is what we do with them. This is my first year having germinated these from last year's seeds. Some of them I have 2 in a pot. Some of them have kind of wasted away. Don't know what the deal is there. Some of them have partially wasted away and then are coming back. So I think I just basically need better seeds, or better soil for these. But we'll see what comes of it next year. These are, like I said, from 2024, and then overwintered the seeds. Cold stratified them over winter naturally outside. I'll show you how I do that in a second. And then they sprouted, and then I repotted them into these pots, and I have somewhere between 30 and 50 plants, depending on if you count the really sick ones that look like they're gonna die. But this is the intermediate step. So this is this year's seeds, and I have them all sort of labeled with little bits of plastic trash that I have written on: reduce, reuse, recycle, blah blah blah. So these pots, this is very similar to what I did last year, but slightly different, because instead of using just all sand, in these pots I put the bottom quarter to third is potting soil, and then the top portion up to where you see it filled is that multi-purpose construction sand that's used in concrete mixing and things like that. And then basically I will fill up a pot to about an inch or so below where you see it filled now. I'll put the seeds around in there, lay them on the surface, and then put another inch or so, inch and a half of sand on top of them. Then I label them. I put also how many seeds are in each pot. I have close to 200 seeds here right now. I have some special varieties. I have some that are from a particular wild population. Well, I mean, this is the one I went to today. So the seeds are in there. All those seeds inside will go into an appropriately labeled pot as well. This is something different. This is a failed experiment trying to root red mulberry, Morus rubra, the native mulberry, the not invasive one, to the eastern United States. But I don't think any of them rooted, although I won't throw them out until these branches are no longer flexible and just kind of snap. I don't know, maybe they're growing roots down there. Doubt it though, they seem dead. Anyway, that's the whole pawpaw situation. I lied, that's not the whole pawpaw situation. I was about to take you guys down there to the creek. Our house is up sort of on a hill, and then there's some woods that go down to a creek where I've extended the pawpaw situation. But right here, just on the other side of my workshop, there's the fence, there's Maple being weird. Right here, cool plant. Monotropa hypopitus or something, hypopitus. I don't know. Put it on the screen. Anyway, it's also known as pine sap, Dutchman's pipe, whatever. It's a chlorophyll-free plant. It's completely parasitic, parasitizing through the roots. Probably, well, based on the name pine sap, I'm imagining it probably has some association with pines. But there's also a bunch of oaks here. You get a lot of these parasitic members of the blueberry family, which is what that is. You can kind of see that blueberry like upside down urn flower going on there. Yeah, there we go. You get a lot of these parasitic members of the blueberry family in pine oak mixed forests, living under the leaf litter, just embedding their root system into the root system of the pines and the oaks, just getting everything that they need from there. And then they never put up leaves. They don't have any leaves. They don't have any chlorophyll. They cannot photosynthesize for themselves. And they you only see them when they come up to bang, to have sex. The flowers. So they only do this to reproduce. It's the only time they come above ground. And that's what you see in here. It's just an inflorescence. The rest of the plants down there in the ground, tapped into the oaks and the pines all around here. Got a white oak right above us. That actually, I think that might be a black gum. But most of this forest is several different oak species, a couple pine species, a couple black gums here and there, a few maples, and quite a bit of sourwood, like that one right there. All the ones that are growing at funky angles, that's sourwood. The rest of the pawpaw story. I said that was it up there, but that is not. Down here in the woods, house is way up there in the workshop. I got two pawpaw trees. You see one over there as well on the other side of our little creek, and this guy right here. So sprouted these from seed. This is a good way to keep deer off of things, and you do need to keep deer off of anything. You know, supposedly those leaves do not taste good if you crunch them up. They emit all kinds of weird volatile chemicals, smell bad, taste bad. Doesn't stop the deer. Deer do not care about anything. Deer will eat you if you give them a chance. They just eat anything. It's insane. But this is a good way to keep it off. Very quick, simple method. You take some of this rectangular welded wire cage, wrap it into a cylinder, stitch it together with its own little ends by bending them back like that. Stick two sticks through the bottom of it and sit a rock on it if you got them. That weighs it down, keeps the deer off. Got our other little guy over here. I also sprouted this one. This one's quite small, has not grown as much as that other one. Our nice little creek here. It's doing its thing, burbling away. Yeah, similar setup on this side. Smaller little pawpaw guy there, but he's doing okay. We're all happy. Everybody's happy. Similar situation though. Cylinder of wire mesh, 2 sticks through the bottom, set a rock on the sticks. Very simple, very easy. Quick construction and works.